Hey friends, welcome back to Stonesill Homestead. If you're new here, I'm Kim, and today I am starting the process of cooking down tomatoes, and we are going to be making tomato sauce. We have a large quantity of tomatoes in my freezer left over from harvest, and we're working on processing those. So here I have cooked those tomatoes down, and I'm going to begin by running them through my KitchenAid mixer. And I have the sauce attachment for the KitchenAid mixer, and that's just gonna get all that juice and pulp out of the tomatoes, and the waste goes out the end. So it's really nice how this all really works. These tomatoes are not my San Marzanos or my Amish paste. These are a combination of many tomatoes we had at the end of the garden season, and we just threw them in bags and put them all together. These tomatoes are very juicy. We've got a lot of juice, and so it's going to take a long time to cook these down, but that's what needs to happen. I'm not sure exactly how much we have left out in the freezer, but this is 60 pounds of that chest freezer that we are emptying. And here we are, the tomatoes are processed, and now I need to cook this down until it gets thick enough for sauce. And I have another pot I'm going to show you. And here's the 18-quart roaster that is also full of the processed tomatoes, and we're just gonna let this cook down all night. It's late, I'm gonna go to bed, and I will see you tomorrow morning. And the sauce is done cooking down. I'm showing you that I am putting a half a teaspoon of Redmond's real salt in each jar, as well as 1 tablespoon of this Santa Cruz lemon juice. I get that from Azure Standard. We absolutely love this lemon juice. It is 100% pure. There is no additives, preservatives, and this is our preferred lemon juice when we are canning. My daughter-in-law is also helping me get these jars filled. And we have cooked this tomato sauce down a very long time. The tomatoes were very watery, which I had explained that in the beginning, and we just took forever to get this cooked down. And I can't even tell you, it was definitely over 12 hours of cooking down time. But that's okay. Here we are, and we are going to get these jars filled, the rims cleaned, debubbled, lids on, and we are going to water bath these jars of tomato sauce. I am not putting any kind of seasoning other than salt into these jars because I want to be able to pull that tomato sauce off the shelf and make it into what I want, whether it be a spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, just plain sauce. I can use this in a variety of ways by doing it this way. And here I am beginning using my 2-cup measure into these jars while Angie is getting the next set of jars prepped. And here we are finishing up, filling up these pint jars. We ended up with 33.5 pints of tomato sauce. The leftover I'm using for tomorrow in a recipe, which I will also be sharing for the pantry challenge. We're measuring headspace at 1/2 inch. And once these are all measured correctly, we will debubble. We will wipe the rims. We will put on the 4-jar lids that you see there to the right. And we will get these processed. And here I am cleaning the rims off of every jar. It's a great time to check for any kind of nicks or chips on the jars. You want to make sure they're nice and clean so that you don't have a failed seal. Angie is continuing to fill up the jars with the rest of the tomato sauce, and we're working really good as a team here today. And now the rims are all clean. We're going to start putting those lids on. And as we put the lids on, we're going to be putting a ring on, finger tight, not to over tighten. You don't want to screw those lids on too tight so that they buckle or don't seal. I'm using up some ball lids and rings that came with the jars. First, before I go into the 4-jar lids, I purchased 4-jar lids on the Black Friday sale from 4 Jars, and I got a wonderful deal. I don't have a code to share, so I will just let you do what you need to do to get those 4-jar lids, but I do prefer 4 jars over any other brand at this point. Here I am placing the jars into the water bath canner. I can fit 10 jars comfortably in here, and it makes it really nice to get these batches done while my pressure canner is working in the background on another project, which that video has already been uploaded, and that was pinto beans. So once this canner is full, we will drop these down into that hot water. And again, the water is the same temperature or about the same temperature as what's inside the jars. We will put them down in the water and we will water bath those for 35 minutes. And you see me finagle a few of these around to get them nice and snug in there so they're not touching. We want them to have a little bit of space, and it just fits great. But I am always checking to make sure that nothing is too tight and not bumping up against one another. And so now I'm dropping those down in the canner, the water bath canner, making sure the water is 1 to 2 inches above the jars, because you don't want to boil out of water. Putting that lid on to help that along. And this is the final batch in the water bath canner. We want to thank you for joining us today. And here are those final products. As always, be blessed and laugh as much as you breathe. Have a great day, everyone.